Hey y'all, and happy Sunday. It is March 12th and we supposedly lost an hour of sleep. However, maybe I was going to stay up late and sew and not care about the time change, and I still don't really care about the time change other than they should really end the nonsense and stop changing it. But I decided to lay down at like 11:30. I don't really know yet because I haven't checked what time I actually fell asleep. But I woke up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. No, somewhere between 9 and 10, 9 and 9:30. And I just stayed in bed for a little while. So I'm up. I am doing things. It's before noon, only by an hour. But I want to sew today, so that's what we're gonna do. I also desperately kind of need to clean up in here, but I finished putting the baby quilt top together, and the variegation on this pink fabric that I dyed is stunning. Like, it just came out so well once you sew with it. So I'm very, very, very excited about this quilt. Like, I was already excited, but I'm even more so excited. But okay, so here is one of the inside groupings. So I tried to put the creams. I had to like think about it for a minute. So I had to like think which two fabrics were going to be back to back to each other, but in different quadrants, and about placement. So that way the creams would kind of be opposite of each other in both like quadrants. So here's what one of them looks like. And then here is what another one of them looks like. And my only thing is with this fabric, because of the size of the cuts and the placement of the cats, sometimes there is no cat. Oh, that one has one. Sometimes there is no cat and it's just little hearts, which is fine. Oh, here's one that's just little hearts. So the cat is like literally right here in the seam. But, and I'm not gonna, it's small enough and the pattern just repeats. I didn't turn any of them to make other arrangements, so all of the inside blocks look the same and they're just on repeat. But look how beautiful that pink is. I wonder if I have the light is faced a little bit off, but oh my gosh, I love this. I was kind of worried about a low volume version because mine was so loud and like boisterous, the first one that I made for testing. So I was actually kind of worried. I've also never made such a low volume quilt. And oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I'm so excited. So, I think I'm going to put this away though. And in early April, like the first week of April, I'm going to go buy batting for a baby quilt unless I have a scrap big enough. So I might see if I have a scrap big enough. And if I do, then one, that saves me more money. But if not, the first week of April, I'm going to go and buy crib size batting, probably just an 80-20. And then we are going to pin it. My friend Susie said that she would help me pin it and like give me some like pointers and tips for quilting it, because it's been a really long time since I've quilted, and on my machine it's just really hard to do. So I don't know if she's also like willing to like help me, like show me how to use a walking foot and stuff. But yeah, I love this. So the back is going to also be the pink. I mean, I have this much of it left. Hi, little. just on top of the quilts. So the backing is also going to be the pink, and so is the binding. So what will be really cool about the binding also being the pink is, one, you'll get to see that variegation again, but two, it'll close up all of these sides and kind of give them like a point of being finished. I think I want to quilt it with pink. And the pink thread that I have is like super in your face bright pink. So I think I might go and get like a medium pink. And my idea is to sew a 1/4 inch inside of these squares. So like outline them, the big square, and then to go down like the paths basically. And then I'm also thinking that I might just put a little tie right in the center of these, and just boop, just right in the center, like a little light pink tie. So I have a couple of different ideas for that. Hi. I have a couple of different ideas, but this one I'm going to put off to the side until April because it just needs to be ready by the last weekend of April. So, yeah, if I find a piece of quilt batting that is big enough, then I might go ahead and try and get it done early. But if not, and I need to buy some, then it'll wait till the first weekend of April. And I was thinking on my entry to the county fair, I think I might just do the Potter quilt this year, because I might be going and seeing my cousins earlier than I was hoping, so I won't be able to do the Texas one. If I do a second one, I don't know. I'm just iffy about doing my kitchen table one. The only reason why I might do that one is because it's just so crazy. And like, it's just so crazy and different and out there. And I was just sewing fabrics together and whacking them in different directions. And I didn't care about a pattern. I didn't pay attention to anything. The back is absolutely insane because of how I pieced the backing together. And the quilting is chickens. Yeah, it's just, it's kind of a crazy quilt. So I think it'd be really funny to get feedback on it, or it might be dangerous to get feedback on it. Although we were told they give you like criticisms to help you do better, but then they also give you positives. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't think it'll be good to do the Texas quilt. Also because at some point this year, I want to start my Texas quilt, and it's going to be like super customed, and kind of crazy, like, and it's going to involve like the same fabrics and panel as that one. So maybe I just wait until I have my Texas quilt done and I display my Texas quilt. So, and then I also have the one that I made as a sample. So, but the other thing is that you can show quilts that are done within the last 3 years. So yeah, we will see. But I'm for sure, I think gonna do the Potter quilt. I'm just so nervous about it because you have to leave it for so many days. And if anything happens to that quilt, I'm going to be really upset, like really tragically upset. So yeah, I like really have to like think about it. So anyways, I'm trying to figure out what I want to work on. So I have a couple of things. this won't take me very long. Perhaps I should just knock it out other than cleaning up this room. But I need to cut out the borders and add them to this test quilt that I still can't show you yet, because I can show it soon. I can show it, I want to say it's like the 23rd of March or something, but I can show it soon. So I need to put the final borders on so that way I can take the final photos for posting. So I should probably just get this done. So that's like one thing. I have this that I could work on. And then I have the new sample that I can make. I'm also going to be making a couple more samples for Paige. I also need to start making videos for the cat quilts. So yeah, I have several things that I want and need to work on. I just don't know which ones yet. So I will figure that out today. Maybe I can get a couple of things done. Who knows? And I also, this next week, I'm going to kind of doodle up a couple different designs for the skeleton quilt. So that way we can pick a design and get the fabric, and then I can get that one worked on as well. So I think that's it for right now. Yeah, we'll just see what I get into today, and I will do an update later, and I will also fix the light. Lately it's just been hurting like my eyes, so I have it turned, and so yeah, it's not facing where I'm filming, which doesn't help whenever I'm trying to show you something. But yeah, anyways, I will check in the next clip. Okay, so like midday check-in of Sunday, it has been just under 4 hours, and I have all of the blocks ready to go for this pattern. So again, I'm doing Heidi Cook's for Villa Rosa Designs gummies with the Stacy. I know I can't say her name right, and I know I didn't say it right in my previous video, but she's a Moda designer. She has the cat and dog fabric coming out this year as well. But it's like Stacy s8e9 or something like that. Anyways, it's called Stomp Stomp Roar. So there's primarily the white backgrounds, these kind of like coppery color, rust colors. And then there is green, primarily this one is green. And then there is navy. Oh, he's upside down, but they're gonna all be turned different directions, so that part doesn't really matter. And then there is some aqua. So this is a layer cake friendly quilt. But yeah, it goes together really fast. It's 51 by 59 whenever it's finished. And you turn them all different directions. There's obviously a pattern and, information on which way to turn them. But yeah, it's 6 by 7. So I'm going to start not sewing the rows together yet, but divvying up the rows. Like, I'm going to try and make it relatively even, like color distribution wise. So this is the least used color. So I'm going to start with these, and then, but yeah, I'm going to try and divvy up the colors so that way it is random, but that there's a nice, good like mix and blend of the colors throughout the entire quilt. But yeah, it's looking like it's gonna rain outside, but it's not. But anyways, so my goal today is to get the rows put together, or maybe chain it. I don't know if I want to do rows and then put the rows together, or if I want to chain it. So what I would do is I would go through and separate the colors for the different rows, and then turn the blocks the way they need to go for the different rows, and then I could chain it. So I haven't quite figured out how I want to assemble it, but right now I'm doing color distribution, which is really important. So yeah, I want to get to a certain point, which I haven't discovered what that point is yet with this quilt. And then I want to get the borders put on my test quilt that I think I can show it around the 23rd. So I'm thinking another like week or so and you'll see it. You'll see it before the end of the month. And then depending on what time it is, because I need to do a couple of things around the house as well, just to prep for the week. But I'm going to do some cleanup in here, do a couple of things that need to get done around just the house. And then if there's any time left in the day, I'm going to do some project for myself. I'm going to work on a project for myself. And I don't know if that'll be the, sew along, or, oh my gosh, actually I'm in multiple sew alongs. So I don't know if that'll be, in the Scrappy Spools sew along, or in the Pocket Full of Posies sew along, or if I want to start cutting I might just cut fabric. I might just start cutting this and start making my charm squares for this quilt. So we will see. But yeah, anyways, I wanted to do kind of like a mid-afternoon check-in. It's almost 3 p.m. and I started this just after 11. And I haven't been working 100%, like constant, but this is a very quick quilt, although I didn't have to cut it. So I will say the cutting was already done for me. I talk about that in last week's video, but if you are new here joining me, or didn't catch last week's, I did not cut this. It was already kitted up, and Kim just hasn't had the time to actually sew it together. So she sent it home with me to get it done. So, yeah, this is a fun pattern. These little ones that you can find oftentimes are like $2 to $4 depending on your store, like your shop. And they're fun, and they're usually pre-cut friendly. It just depends on the pre-cut. A lot of the times jelly rolls and layer cakes, but yeah, these are really fun. So anyways, I will do another update soon. Okay, it is Sunday night. It is like 9:40. I got the quilt chain pieced right before 4 o'clock. And yeah, Daniel. And then I went over to a quilt friend's house to pick up a layer cake for filming the like supplies video for the cat quilt whenever I start recording those videos. And then I went to Paige's because she has 2 more shop samples that she wants me to make. One of them, though, she didn't have the colors that she wanted to use, or all of them. So those are on their way. But I'm going to be making a shop sample with a starry jelly roll and this polka dot from Cotton and Steel. This is from the Kicks line by Melody Miller. So it's older for sure. But yeah, an old school Cotton and Steel with this starry jelly roll. Her studio smells so good. So I was gone for about 2 hours, and then whenever I got back, a little after 6 o'clock, I did a few things and hung out with the cats and accidentally took a small nap. So I am very tired. I could totally go lay down and go to bed right now, but I think I'm going to try and sew a little bit of these rows together, just to try and get this quilt top done. But this came yesterday, and I totally forgot to show it, but the teal goldfish fabric came in the mail yesterday. So this is the other goldfish for the cat quilt, and I pulled out all of my Ruby Star scraps, and yeah, I need to go through them. There's definitely some that I'm probably not going to want to use, but I'm going to try and use a ton of scraps, and hopefully not have to buy a whole lot. But also may talk to Paige. She has a scrap bin, so of like her first cuts from bolts and stuff, and she mostly sells Ruby Star. So I think I'm also going to ask her if I can rummage through her scrap bin, and see if she wants to do like a set price for like a Ziploc or something like that, for the goldfish quilt. But anyways, so I got this chain piece together. So here is the Stomp Stomp Roar. So I just have to sew the rows together. There's 7 of them, so I have 6 seams left. But yeah, so this is it. Hello. I think it's gonna look super cute. I shot a like photo over to Kim earlier, and she really likes it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna at least do I'm at least gonna probably sew 3 of the rows together, and get half of it done, I think, probably, and watch another episode. I've been, well, aside from the last, what, like 3.5 hours, I've been binge watching season 3 of Skinwalker Ranch on Hulu. It's intriguing. So, yeah, I'm going to try and get this one done. And then, so yeah, this week's goals, I know I keep on doing this and then I just don't, but this week's goals, I'm going to keep it very simple. It's going to be to finish this guy, get the borders on my test quilt, get the binding on the Texas quilt, and prepped so that way I can whip stitch the binding. I would like to get the, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm going to put, yeah, I would like to get a label put on the quilt for my friend, because they didn't put one on it. So I'd like to put a label on that quilt. I asked her if she wanted me to. She said yes. And then I want to get this sample started. And then probably next week, the other samples fabrics will be in. So then, I'll work on that one as well. And then, so then, yeah, the rest of the month, I need to plan and start working on the cat quilt and recording those videos, so that way they can be posted. Kim and I talked about starting it at the end of April, beginning of May. So we may just push it to the end of May and just start promoting it like middle of April so that way people can get their supplies. So that may be what we do. This week I'm going to kind of like work on timeline, what the videos are going to be, So that way I can kind of at least mentally script it out and be prepared for recording those videos, and having them ready and edited. So there's that. And then I want to start designing the skeleton quilt. And then, yeah, the baby quilt will get, the baby quilt will get quilted at the beginning of April and all of that. And I think I've decided to only put in one quilt of mine into the county fair, maybe two. I'm tempted to do the kitchen table one just because it is kind of like so out there and crazy. It would be very different and unique. But for sure the Potter quilt. So I need to do that paperwork and turn it in by Friday. But yeah. All right. I will probably not check in again tonight, but I will check in probably tomorrow with how far I got on this. And yeah, I'm going to try and make this week as productive as absolutely possible. And I know I took most of this afternoon off, and I really probably should go to bed, but that's the way it is around here. So yeah, I will check in with you guys soon. Hey everyone, it is Wednesday evening. My voice is doing something. I can't explain it. So, couple of things. I just measured this, and I actually do have 108 by 108. So it is big enough to be the quilt backing. So after I bought whatever I bought, I'm guessing they changed the listing from being by yards to being by half yard, because I guess I bought too much of it. I don't know. I did finish the dino quilt, and I am almost done with this first sample for Paige using the Starry line, and some cotton and steel. So it's really cool. But you have to trim up the bottom, and I was trimming it and it somehow got off and went slightly crooked. Not by an incredible amount, but by enough that I like messaged her and I was like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Like, I thought it was going even. So I don't know, but it somehow went crooked. Anyways, we're gonna straighten up the bottom at her shop tomorrow, because she has a massive cutting table. So we'll be able to better lay out the whole thing as opposed to my 24-inch mat here. And you also have to cut this. You have to slice it and then put the background fabric going this direction, at 27 inches. So I don't know, somewhere around like here. So we're gonna go ahead and also splice it in half while we're using her larger cutting mat. So tomorrow I will show you the finished, this pattern is called Boardwalk by Purple Pineapple Studio, I think. Anyways, tomorrow I will show you the finished Boardwalk using Starry, and I'll also show you the dino quilt. But what am I working on tonight? I am working on my scrappy spools. So tonight I am going to actually make I'm going to make my finished blocks into actual spools. So I have to add one of these on each side. Hi, yes, Daniel. Well, then come here. Yeah. Yes. I've given you attention for hours today. Hours. He's literally never satisfied. So anyways, I have to sew this on each side of every block, and then I have to, I don't know if I'm going to do the line or if I'm just going to fold them in half and finger press them and follow that. But you do that to your wood pieces, and then you attach them. So, and then I also have the final 4 blocks finished being cut that I can put together, or start putting together. I need to work on something for myself for just a hot minute. And this weekend, I am for sure going to get at least 2 of these done. Like this upcoming weekend, I think I might do these 2. So the bananas with the floral and the octopus with the pipers. Oh my gosh, with the pipers and the dolphins. And yeah. So, because this deadline is coming soon and the month is half over. So I also got the fabric and stuff. It's way on the other side of the room for one more, shop sample. I don't know if Paige wants me to do any more after that one, but after I do these 2, I may take a slight break from doing shop samples just that way I can finish some of my stuff up. I also, I've been working on ideas for the schedule for the cat quilt that Kim and I want to do for the shop. And I sent her like an outline, but I haven't heard back from her yet. So hopefully we can get that finalized, and that would be really good. But yeah, so yeah, just trying to get some things finished. This is the wrong size. So I may run out of those, but we will cross that bridge whenever we come to it. Anyways, yeah, I'm trying to work on a few things for myself tonight. It's 10. I'm probably not going to do this for very long. I might only sew for an hour and then call it a night. But yeah, I just want to do a little something, for myself. And so, on one of my own projects. But anyways, I was really excited. After measuring that backing fabric that I had enough, because honestly though, how perfect is that backing for this project? With it being, I'm using all like 30s prints. But yeah, so God, my nose is so itchy. Yeah, my throat, it's getting a little bit better every day, which is really great. Basically, I think what it's from is I woke up with acid in the back of my throat one night, and it just kind of like scorched it, and it's just been really like sore and sensitive. So I just haven't been talking as much the last few days. And it was worse. It's better. It's much better today. I think it happened Monday night because it was really bad yesterday. And yeah, it was basically bad all day yesterday. And then I didn't help it any because I did like 3 hours of yard work yesterday after work, and like some sand and stuff from like weed eating and picking up pine needles and stuff got like in my nose and mouth and stuff. And so I think that obviously didn't help. So anyways, we are on the mend over here, and yeah, I'm just trying to get a couple of things done. That's also like, that's my own stuff. I really want to work on my Sal as well, but I have to get those blocks done this month. I don't have to get this one caught up. And oh, the other thing that I did do was I did trim up all of my neon fabrics for my Acroma quilt. So I did do that. What else? Yeah, if Kim approves that timeline, then I also need to start recording those videos and kick it into high gear and my attempt is going to get my quilt finished. And maybe be able to get it quilted. Maybe be able to get it quilted. So that also means that I need to finalize what size I want it, and if I want it to have a border, what do I want the border to be. But there's another line coming out that has cat heads in the fabric, and so I'm kind of maybe tempted that if I do a border, I make it from that line. Could be kind of fun. Or there's also fabrics with books with cats hidden in the books. So I don't know. I have some options, but I think I know that I think I want to use the pink for the binding, but it might not be pink enough. So I actually also like that pink possibly for the border. I just don't know. The quilt calls for 2 borders, a thinner one and a thicker one. So I'm still thinking about that. But if we go with the dates that I have proposed, we would start promoting the quilt like mid-April. And I know I could have the top done, but I don't think I could have it quilted and binded in time for it to be at Kim's shop. So I'm wondering if we push it back by a few weeks. I could get everything recorded and get it quilted and stuff, and then we start promoting it, because then Kim could have it up at her shop. Anyways, lots of thoughts. I need to chat with her. And yeah, just working on getting some stuff done. And my brain is a little all over the place. It's been a long week. Friday at work, I got put into a last minute, well, it was last minute for me to be added, but I got put into a last minute training that was Monday through Wednesday, and it was 7 hours long every day. I mean, I guess 6 because we got a lunch break, but yeah, the guy would go the whole morning part, give us our lunch break, and then we'd come back and we'd go for another 2.5 hours, and then we'd get a 20-minute break, and that's all that we got the whole day. So it's been mentally some long 3 days. So let me get some of these done, and tomorrow in that clip I'll show you what I got done of this. I will show you the sample for Kim finish, the sample for Paige finish, and I will show you the fabrics and the pattern for the next sample for Paige. And yeah, I will talk to y'all in the next clip. Hey guys, so happy Monday. It is March 20th, and this is just going to be a 2-week update video, because now it feels like by the time I edit last week's stuff and get it up, plus continuing this week, I'm going to be behind. So, and it's like, I might as well just combine it. Anyways, so, last week I got a fair amount done. Thursday, I went over to Paige's studio or shop, and we used the big cutting table to square up this sample, which, because I kind of messed it up a tiny bit when trying to square it up on my tinier table. And anyways, it'll get fixed in quilting and squared up then, like fully. But I did get the Starry Shop sample finished, so I'll show you that to you in a second. And so did that on Thursday. I did something else on Thursday. Oh, Thursday I worked on some of my Scrappy Spools blocks. So I didn't start any of the February or April, but I did get January and March's 3 block sets into the shape of spools. So I'll show you those in just a second. But Friday I went to the rodeo with one of my really good friends from college. We've been friends for 18 years. He's never been to a rodeo, not even like a county one. So that was really fun. He had a great time. We went and saw Cody Johnson. And then Saturday we woke up, went to go get something to eat and hung out for a little bit before he left. And I had just enough time to go down to the Montgomery Quilt store and drop off the sample. And I totally forgot that I meant to share that with you, but I do have a photo, so I'll put the photo right here. The pattern is called Gummies, which I think I talked about in a previous clip from this video, or it'll be this video. But yeah, I'll put the clip right here, or the photo, not the clip. But yeah, I was driving back and I was like, oh, I didn't take a clip of that quilt being finished. So anyways, and then I have the next sample, the fabrics and pattern to show you for the, I think it's the final sample that I'm making for Paige at this moment, which is a good thing because I have a lot to finish in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I need to cut and do this sample. I need to doodle the drawings for the skeleton quilt, so that way we can get rocking and rolling on that. McKenna, if you're watching this, I am going to be doodling that up later today, so look out for messages from me. Oh, you're gonna see this in like a few days. Okay, well, you'll have already gotten the messages. And I have 4 sets of economy blocks to finish for the swap. We will get the address to send them to early April. My address has been confirmed, so all I have to do is finish my blocks and ship them to her at the beginning of April. So that'll be good. And I think Kim and we discussed on Saturday, I had proposed some dates, but if we want to have my quilt completely finished and possibly quilted and finished for her to display, to promote and sell kits, we're gonna push the dates back by like just a few weeks. So it was gonna take place all of March and be done by June. Now it's going to take place like middle to end of May, March. It was supposed to be all of May. It's gonna just get pushed back by a little bit. So now it's gonna be middle to end of May and go in to June, which I think is gonna work out a whole lot better. So that way, yeah, I can get that going and we can make some progress and, you know, see some really fun things get achieved. I also got a tiny bit of cross stitch haul that came in this weekend. So lots to show you. Let me go ahead and do these blocks first because they're right on top. So here are the March blocks, the little American flag block made into spools. How freaking cute. I love this wood print. I think it really makes it look like a spool and they're all going to be topsy-turvy. So I'm really, really loving that. And then here is one of January's sets. So for some of these, since I didn't mix up the fabrics, I know they are going to kind of be like different directions, but what I did was I kind of just rotated this one so that way they all had a different they just rotated. I rotated them all. And then here is the other January blocks, which is the log cabin block. So I'm super stoked about these, and they are ready to go. So now I need to get caught up, I need to do the 2 February blocks and the 2 April blocks, but I'll worry about that in April. I'm just gonna go ahead and say la vie to that. Okay, my sewing haul. I got this from One Thrifty Stitcher on Etsy. And look at her cute little cat thank you sticker. I love that. So I got a market freebie. I got a market freebie, and it's from Teresa Cuget. And I'm just gonna flash it, but it's super cute. It's 2 stitching friends, which is really, anyways, it's really adorable. So eventually one day, right? So I got 2 hands-on design patterns. I just really liked these. These are part of the plaid all year. It makes me want to, or I've wanted to get the other plaid, like the plaid seasons. But she's doing specific holidays this year, probably into like next year, because she didn't do one for St. Patrick's Day. But anyways, the first 3 that she is releasing or released was Hoppy Easter, 4th of July, and then Canadian 4th of July, or it's not 4th of July, but Canadian Independence, I think. And the 4th of July one, I will say, doesn't say 4th of July anywhere. So you could also use this for Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Labor Day, any of the like American, like red, white, and blue holidays, basically. So we'll do Hoppy Easter first. So super cute. They're plaid. They're little plaid animals, and everything is just like plaid. Like the bunnies are plaid, the carrots are plaid, the baskets, the eggs that the chicks are sitting in, all plaid. And then this is the 4th of July. Look how cute those little plaid eagles are. The plaid flags. It's all so super cute. So this is what I was saying. It's 4th of July, or it's called 4th of July, but there's nothing on it other than the fireworks to signify that it's 4th of July only. So you definitely could use this for Memorial Day or Veterans Day. But yeah, pretty awesome. I really like these. And I think the ones in her video, she showed like the next set. And it's like, I think there's like a beach day kind of like themed one, which is really cute. I don't think in the next set there is a holiday in specific, but out of the next ones being released, there is a happy birthday one, which is super cute. I think that's a really good idea, because if it's somebody's birthday, you can make that for them and give that to them. Or if you do display these in your house and it's somebody's birthday, like your kids or yours, or you're having a birthday party for a friend or yourself at your house, you can put the happy birthday one on display. So I'll probably be getting the happy birthday. But yeah, so I got the 2 out of this current set that applied to me. Obviously, you know, love Canada, but I have no connection to Canada. So, I mean, I have friends there, but that's about it. If there was one for Italy or Germany or Britain or something, maybe, because that's a part of my heritage. And the other thing that I got, I went ahead and I splurged with some of my payment money for commissions, and I went ahead and I just went ahead and got the Heartstring Samplery Sunday stitches. So this is all 12 patterns. I had bought 4 or 5 of them. So it's really nice to have all of them. There's obviously a couple that I'm not super I'm not super impressed with them. But that was, you know, like from the get-go, but there were several that I wanted to get out of the series, and they were just really hard to find. only shops that buy every single pattern from her had the ability to get the Sunday Stitches series. And that's harder to find people than you think. But yeah, so there were several that I didn't get out of the series that I'm now glad that I have. And then you got 3 additional ones. And I love 2 out of the 3 additional ones. So here's the additional ones. This one is it's just not my style. I love this one, and this one is also pretty cute. I'm trying to remember which one. I don't know. One of these just wasn't totally my vibe, but anyways, I'm glad to have this. It's all of the stitches, and it's really, really nicely done. So let me just do a flip through. So you get the Amazing Grace one. This one I've actually already started, and it's in progress. So this one I have started, and it's just not done. I don't think I ever owned this one. Trying very hard not to accidentally flash any of the patterns. I don't think I had this one. Now, I will say they are not in the book in the same order that they were released, because this is one of the bonus ones. So I definitely did not have this one. Here you go. This one I do have, and it is also a work in progress of mine. This one I did finish. So this one I had, and I finished this one. This one is an amazing stitch. So if that is a song or a hem that you really love, definitely do that one. It is gorgeous. This is one of the bonuses, so I didn't have this one. I love this one. I think it's absolutely stunning. It's just so like pretty. I love all the florals. This is the one that isn't really my style. And just because it's not my style doesn't mean I might still do all 13 in this book, because that was kind of like my goal. I wanted to do all of them. So I may still do that. We will see. This one I had, but, and I had it, or I still have it. Oh my gosh, what is the word? I still have it kitted up, but this one I had not started yet. Love this one. And there is this one. I can't remember if I had picked this one up or not. I think it was later in the series, and it was really hard for me to find it. This one I might have only have gotten 4 of them. This one I definitely wanted, but again, it was just, the further they went into the year, they were just harder to find. And I love this one as well. So if this is your jam, I think this is a really good book to invest in. All the patterns are 2 pages, and that's it. So it's a really nice book. It's really well put together. So here is the shop sample that I finished for Paige. The second one. So the first one was the Achroma with the lime green. So this is the second one, and then I'll show you the fabrics and the pattern for the third one. But this was a jelly roll quilt, and it's called Boardwalk. So you kind of like sew these tubes, and then you cut the pieces at random. You cut the background pieces at random, and then you sew them in, like, you can do a more mixed up order, whatever you want to do. Paige wanted them to go in order of like the jelly roll. And then once you get that put together, you cut it in half and you add more background going horizontal. So you split up that line. So anyway, so yeah, they're jagged on the top. You split it. And then they're jagged on the bottom as well. And there's a big chunk of like background down at the bottom. So this is the Boardwalk quilt. And actually, I need to take some photos of this for me to post myself. But I am going to go ahead and show you my test quilt because this comes out on Thursday. So the quilt comes out on Thursday. So by the time this video goes up, I will be able to show this to you. So that's kind of perfect. So this is by s8e9 Co. And this was the last test quilt that I did. And I did it with a chambray from Moda and 5 different colors of sugar from Ruby Star. And this is called the Origami Stars. And again, it came out Thursday, March 23rd. And I was assigned to make the mini. So this is the mini quilt version. It is a lot of background. So yeah, you have these really cool origami stars, and the pattern calls to do it in 4 different colors, but she said that traditionally they're 2. So we had the ability to play with our color palette, but not the arrangement, basically, or making it bigger or smaller until after the test was over. So yeah, this I think finished to be about like 42 by 42. So it's a really nice, just like lap size. So it'd be really good for like an office quilt. Oh my gosh. I think a thread got stuck in my nose, or like tickled it, but it would be really good as like an office quilt size for, anyways, it's a mini meant for like artwork, wall art. But it is big enough to be a lap quilt. Maybe it's 48 by 48. Somewhere between 42 and 48. But it's big enough for sure to be kind of like a lap quilt. At this, I'm sitting. So at this level, it reaches like my ankles. So this would be really good for like in your office, over your chair, if you get cold in your office and things like that. This is a pretty good size. So I decided to leave it that size. It would also be a really good baby quilt size, but the pattern is also going to have a twin bed version. And I've seen some of the samples of those and they look stunning. Okay, so the next sample that I'm going to be making is Duck and Weave by s8e9. And I think this is a new pattern. Came out last year. So it looks like it's woven and you sew it. You put it together, like it comes together diagonally. And then you trim it up to be square, which that's going to be the scary part. So the colors that she chose, here's the color palette. So, white, charcoal, dark blue, this light blue, this like, I don't know, kind of like medium blue, and then this pink. So that is the color palette for this quilt. So that's going to be really exciting. I think it's going to be really pretty. So I need to cut this out so that way I can work on that over this next week as well. But that is kind of everything that I wanted to show you in this clip. Hey everyone, and happy Friday. She was trying to sleep. It's okay. And it's raining. We're supposed to get a huge storm today. I'm on my lunch break. It is Friday, March 24th, which is crazy to me. But I have to go up to the office this afternoon to do some film recording. So, I have kind of like lost track of what all I have and haven't accomplished, like this week. So hopefully I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up with this clip so that way I can edit it, ASAP this afternoon and hopefully get it posted at the latest tomorrow morning, because it's going to be a long one because it's 2 weeks worth of videos. But I have gotten some stuff done. Stella is resting on the boardwalk shop sample. And I have gone through a lot of my Ruby Star cuttings and I have pulled the ones that I think I want to use, but Paige has bins of off cuttings, like because bolts, whenever you like first start them, they're like not always lined up very well, and they're sometimes, anyways, so she straightens it up, and they're called like off cuttings or what have you. So anyways, you fill up like a Ziploc basically and you pay by the weight. And she also has scraps of like layer cakes and stuff, and charm packs. So I might be able, there's a couple of prints that like I wish I had like a second charm of it, or I wish I had, you know, I don't know, a couple other like varying like colors that I don't typically gravitate towards, but I wish I had like a scrap or two of it so that way I could put it as a background for the cat quilt. But have come up with the official dates. The sew along is not going to start until May 31st. I need to double check with Kim, but I'm thinking she liked the dates that I had originally picked, but I told her if I push it back some, I may be able to get all the videos recorded, get mine completed, maybe also get mine quilted and finished, so that way to promote it and help sell quilt kits and things, she can actually display the quilt. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to see, anyways, I pushed back the dates to where promotion would start like promotion and like kit sales would start like mid-May, and we would start the last Wednesday of the month and go through June and finish, I think, the first Wednesday of July, because I've broken it down over several weeks. So that's kind of like the plan and the goal. So this week I need to trim these down. I still need to trim them, but that's like my least favorite part about making these blocks, honestly about making any blocks really, that you have to trim down. I just, like, I love making things with half square triangles now. It used to be something that like really terrified me. I love doing it, but I hate trimming down the blocks. But so I got 2 more economy block sets finished. These are a part of a swap that I am doing. It's now closed. I think she closed it officially like 2 weeks ago. But anyway, so I have 2 more sets after this. So I need to square these up. That's one of my goals for this weekend, is to get these squared up so they are packaged and ready to go. And then early in April, we are going to get the address to ship our blocks to. And so in the next like week and a half to 2 weeks, I need to make my final 2 sets. but this is the other set. I love the colors in this one. I picked this nice floral because blues go really well with yellows and this rust color. And this rust color is in the florals. But yeah, I just thought it was just really fun. But I really love the little squid with the Piper birds and the dolphins. So yeah, I need to square those up. And then the other two sets that I have are these right here. So I have the rabbits, and the inside. So this is the inside. So the first round of triangles is this teal, and then the outside are these like daffodil kind of flowers. And then the final set is from the Florida line. I have alligators picked like squared out. I have florals. There is like palm leaves, like giant palm leaves. Let's see if I can find one. And I did like the alligators at different angles and stuff. So that'll be really fun. Where's one of the really big palm leaves? Oh, there we go. So, then that is the first round. And then I thought to continue the swampy theme, the darker print of the firefly fabric, I just thought looked really cool. So yeah, I think those are going to look pretty neat. Pretty neat and unique. But I like to kind of make them all at the same time and chain them. It just goes by faster, but it goes faster adjacent. I was a lot faster at it whenever I made the first 6 sets, and I just couldn't stop. Okay, the other thing that I have been working on, because I'm trying to, because the cat quilt, I'm going to have to record several angles. It's going to require a lot of editing to make the videos. And I have one shot at making the videos because I'm making the videos as I make the quilt. So I'm trying to get like my test samples done. And I doodled up the skeleton quilt, and it was a little bit more chaotic than my original conversations with McKenna. But she loved it. We've picked out all the fabrics. I had 2 distinctly already in my head. And so it was really about finding one particular perfect color. And yeah, we found it, and all the fabric is available at Pages at Little Split Peas. So I'm super excited about that because I don't have to wait for shipping or anything. So I'm thinking next week we're gonna pick up the fabrics for that. I'm hoping this weekend to get this one finished, or at least I'm gonna get it put together. But then you have to you put it together on like the diagonal, and then you have to square it up yourself. So the squaring up, we are going to do it at Paige's studio, or her house, her office, her fabric store. She has a really big cutting table, much bigger than anything that I have. So we're going to square it up at her shop. And then I'm just going to leave it with her. Whenever I do finish it in the video, you will see the uncut version. And then maybe once it's done being quilted, she'll send me a photo and I can show that photo of what it looks like. But anyway, so I've been working on this duck and weave pattern. It's pretty simple. I am finishing up attaching these to this color, which is the medium blue. So I'm making sets of these, and then it literally, like, that is the most like piecework that you do. And then everything else is attaching things in a particular order of colors. So yeah, it's a very interesting quilt, I think. But I'm intrigued. I think it is a little confusing. But I mean, it is and it's not. But anyways, so the next set, yeah, basically the rows go like this. They go like that. And then you take the pieced blocks and you every other color, or every other, like a block of that with the other two colors. And then it looks like it's woven. So, yeah, interesting. It's definitely interesting. And I think it's going to look really cool. Yeah, I think it's going to look really cool. But that's where I'm at. I think I have, is it 5? 1, no, 3, 4, 5. I have 7 strips left to put on. And then I'll have all of my blocks for this. The most confusing part of this quilt is going to be not messing up the pattern. That's going to be the main thing, is not messing up the pattern, but, which I'm hoping will be not as hard as I think, but I'm going to use washi tape. I've done, the last time I did a pattern, on point, I guess. This doesn't feel like on point to me, but it is. Like the quilt itself is on point, but the blocks aren't on point. So it's weird calling it on point, but anyways, I used washi tape so that way I knew where I was in making of the rows. So I think I'm just going to construct like 2, maybe 3 rows at a time, construct them completely, iron them, put those together, and then kind of build it like that. Which means that there will be like 5 sections, because the size that I'm making, there is 15 rows. I think that might be the least confusing way for me to accomplish this quilt. So that's the only thing, that I don't want to say worried about, but like it is something in the back of your mind, like don't mess this quilt up, basically. Because it is totally about the illusion of what the quilt looks like. So, hopefully this weekend, again, I have like really big goals. I already have the label completely pinned on the purple quilt. So this weekend, I am getting that label on that purple quilt. The other thing is that, I have washed my Potter quilt. So the Potter quilt is washed. I need to put on the temporary hanger on the Potter quilt. I need to take my meat quilt off of my kitchen table and put the temporary hanger on it, because I have to turn them in on the 31st. So that's when they are due, for the county fair. It's already paid for. I have to go and turn them in. So I have to get that done this weekend. That is a goal. Adding a label to the purple quilt for Tracy, that is a goal that I have to get done. And then getting this put together, is another goal for this weekend, which I think I can definitely do. I think I can definitely do that. And then if all of that gets completed, because the label just won't take me very long. It's 4 sides, because normally I embed 2 sides of a label in the binding, but it's already a bound quilt. And so I have to do all 4 sides. Literally though, that will take me like maybe 30 minutes. So that can get done. I'm not worried about that. I have to do the hangers, because I don't want to try and be doing it last minute. I want them to look fairly decent and be really durable, because if they aren't, it can put too much weight on my quilts and it can actually mess them up. And you know, my meat quilt, I'm a little bit less worried about messing up. It is a tablecloth, for crying out loud, but my Potter quilt, I will have a meltdown. I already have anxiety about letting it live somewhere else for like 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks. So it's very nerve-wracking. For me anyway. So I need to make sure that those are done as best as I can. Which I haven't decided yet on the meat quilt if I'm going to whip stitch a hanger on it and actually like it's on there, or if I'm going to do the temporary way, which is by using safety pins. But the Potter quilt, I don't have a choice. I have to use safety pins because of the type of backing. It is a very stretchy polyester minky that, yeah, there isn't going to be an easy way or a safe way to attach a hanger temporarily with thread. Safety pin is going to be my best bet. So, to give it more durability and stability. So, fingers crossed. So yeah. Anyways, those two things have to happen. The label, that's like watching an episode of anything. I can get that done. This is going to get done this weekend. So that way early next week, maybe the same day that I go pick up the fabric for McKenna's skeleton quilt, I can take this and we can trim it down. But if all of that stuff gets done, I am going to put the binding on the Texas quilt and get that prepped so that way I can also get that hand stitched and ready to go, because I have talked with my cousins about possibly going in April. That may or may not happen. It may be more likely that it needs to be in May. I don't know. But yeah, I want to go ahead and get that done and prepped. And then all that will be on my plate with deadlines, other than 2 more economy blocks, which will take me an evening if I really like set my mind to it, is the cat quilt and McKenna's skeleton quilt. So those are the next 2 things with deadlines. And the skeleton quilt, McKenna's not pressuring me. So I want to get it done for her, and I'm very excited about it, and I can't wait to show more about it. I shared a preview on my Quilted Cat Instagram, but I didn't show the entire thing that I designed. Because I don't know. Right now, I kind of want to keep that a secret and keep that special for McKenna. And then as I am creating it and putting it together, I'll probably share it. But, for right now, I want the design to kind of be a little bit elusive. But anyways, cause I just think that's fun. I literally custom drew it for her. So, that's just fun for her to have like a week or 2 of it being fully just hers. Until, the quilt is going to be just hers, but, to where not everybody knows all the details about what the quilt is going to look like. I think that that's really exciting. At least I think it's exciting. But anyways, so I'm really excited to get that started, and I really want to cross stitch soon. Also, Heather, please come visit me soon because I miss your girl. And Little wants to see you too. But yeah, do I have a ton of my own stuff to work on? Yes, I absolutely do. Do I have things that I want to be working on next that aren't even in my whip pile? Yes. I also, before the end of April, have to get the baby quilt quilted. So that's fun. I'm still going to attempt that myself, but I think my friend Susie is going to help me with that. Because it's been a while since I have quilted a quilt on my own, on my machine, and I have a walking foot now, I think, but but I've never used it. So I'm a little nervous. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a little nervous. So I'm gonna have my friend Susie help me. She offered to help me because I want it to look really nice. I want it to be a really nice baby quilt for my cousins. And so yeah, I do have a to-do list. I do have some deadlines for some of it, but it's all small tasks. I really just need to like do it, you know? So I have big goals for this weekend? Yes, because I also need to do some stuff outside, weather depending, and some stuff inside. Oh, okay. I thought she was going to be mad for a second, and I think she's okay with it. So anyways, it's been a crazy 2 weeks. I feel like I've gotten a lot done. And I cannot wait to take y'all on the journey of the cat quilt, the skeleton quilt, and all of it. It's really exciting for me. But I do also want to cross stitch. So maybe I can sneak some cross stitching in. If I can get a couple of these things done and checked off, maybe I can do some cross stitching, like take at least a day to cross stitch. Because I know that that's, you know, the original reason why you even started following me. So thank you once again for like following my crazy quilting journey. And I already have a couple of people who want custom quilts. So I have somebody who wants me to work on something in the summer for them. And I have somebody who responded to something that I put on Facebook, a friend of mine. And so that is really exciting. She said that she has 2 quilts that she wants done, which is super exciting. But I told her summer is whenever I would open spots back up. So that way, one, I can get all of this stuff done that has deadlines. I can work on something for myself, maybe a couple of things for myself, which would be really exciting, and have a little bit of downtime before I open up those offers again. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And no? Okay, now I upset her. But anyways, I will see y'all in the next video. Love you guys so much, and I hope that y'all have a fantastic week and weekend. I reversed that. Weekend and week. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.